All right, you guys, welcome back for part 2 of our turbo swap on our shop car. Make sure you guys are liking, following, subscribing again, so that way we can continue to bring you guys videos like this. On our table, we have 2 BNR turbos. This turbo is what is currently in the car. And as you guys know, if you watched the last video, we made 632 wheel horsepower with 522 foot-pounds of torque. On this old BNR turbo. Now, this turbo is originally a GT30-76 journal bearing turbo. On the newest version of the BNR S5, there's been 2 major changes that have come along. The biggest change is that this is now an internally wastegated turbo. What does that mean? That means that we no longer have to get a wastegate, a dump tube, and run everything like that. It's gonna save you hundreds of dollars to just drop in another 600 plus horsepower capable turbo. The best part about this turbo though, isn't that it's internally wastegated. It's that BNR has upgraded to the new G30-770 ball bearing turbo cartridge, which is going to allow us to have more top end volume, and this turbo theoretically should make more power. Now, originally we were a little bit concerned with, okay, well, what is going internally gated going to do for our spool time? Because the prioritization from the external wastegate typically is going to help with scavenging and with making sure that we are building as much boost as quickly as possible. However, the internally wastegated setup with it having a smaller wastegate port is still going to have better turbine tech, and it's going to be ball bearing. So we're really interested to see what our curve is going to look like on the dyno for this turbo, but we are so excited that we no longer have to run external wastegate. This is going to be a great option for those that are wanting to stay emissions compliant. Now, the old BNR S5 that is external wastegate will be discontinued. We obviously have this brand new one here that we are able to sell you guys and give you a deal, of course, as well as the full setup off of our shop car, which we are also willing to sell you guys. It only has about 300 miles on it all in all. Most of that just the tuning process and dyno time and going through it. So in conjunction with installing this, we are going to be retuning in this video as well, using the awesome motive reflex that we have gone through, done the R&D with Greg Senge and PD tuning to make sure that we are bringing you guys that alternative auxiliary fuel injection controller, because we know that the split second controller has been discontinued. Now, we do have a few of those units left on the shelf. However, the goal is for us to continue to progress this platform and make sure that we are bringing you guys new, innovative, functional, and better products. So in this video, what you guys are gonna see is it's gonna be our guy pulling out the turbo. Brendan's gonna go ahead and handle all of that. Right now, he's in the back of the car. We had to shut the door and lock him in there so he doesn't interrupt this video. But he is currently hardwiring our Hellcat 525 pump, as we are having some issues with fuel scavenging down at the half a tank area. We're starting to lean out, but anything above that is working really well. So we're gonna hardwire the pump based off of Greg's recommendation. Otherwise, we do have a brand new fuel pump that we can put in there, or fuel basket, I should say, to put in there and see if we're able to redo our Hellcat system to make this work a little bit better. So from here, like I said, we're gonna pull out our old BNR S5. We're gonna put in the new BNR S5. So stay tuned, keep watching, so that way you guys can see the tuning process, the flashing of the reflex process, which again, we're gonna have another video for that for you guys to go through and watch to see what the installation looks like, where you can get these beautiful wire tuck harnesses, or plug and play harnesses, I guess I should say. This one's actually for a Focus ST, but we have the full harness wire tucked and plug and play for our current shop car, which is already installed. So we'll give you guys some highlights there when that time comes. Let's jump into this install. We're super excited to be working with BNR on this release. We are going to have exclusive access to sell this turbo to you guys, so you will only be able to get it through Graveyard Performance all the way through January of 2026. We anticipate this turbo is probably going to end up being released right around the 1st or 2nd week of November for you guys to be able to purchase. So make sure you drop a comment if you're wanting one, and one of our team members will reach out to you. But let's get this turbo in the car. Enough talking.
Day 2.
All right, you guys, so we are back at the dyno with our shop car on the brand new BNR S5 internally wastegated. Again, this is a G30-770, but with the internal wastegate we went through, we actually didn't do any retuning from our previous S5. We locked out the wastegate, so let's make as much boost as possible and see if we need to make adjustments. Didn't look like we did. So on our next video, we're gonna go through and we'll have a very intentional video showing you guys how the reflex works, how to flash it. Greg Sange actually just posted some on his Facebook page, so that way you guys can reference that, but we will do a full video for our YouTube as well. That way you guys are able to easily reference and find that video for you. So we got it all strapped up. We're gonna get the car rolling here soon, do some calibration, and then we're gonna start with the dyno pulls. The last turbo made 632 wheel horsepower and 500 and some odd foot-pounds of torque. So we're gonna see what this turbo does. Based off of how it feels on the street, with slightly less boost, I would say we're probably gonna make a little less power, but the biggest thing that we've noticed is our power band. We are spooling about 400 to 500 RPM sooner than we did on the previous GT30-76 externally gated S5. So this G30-770 and the CHRA have really shown to have much better tech. So we're excited to continue to do some development on this, see if we can get some more boosts out of it. We're working with BNR really closely to bring you guys the best product possible for your Mazda speed. So stay tuned, let's see what numbers it puts down, then we'll kind of go from there. Good stuff. All right, you guys, so we are back from the dyno, back in the shop. This car made 603 wheel horsepower at about 518 foot-pounds of torque. So we lost about 4 foot-pounds of torque and about 30-ish horsepower, 29 horsepower moving into the internally wastegated setup. However, we picked up about 5,000 RPM of power band all the way across. So that's gonna be huge for this turbo. For us trying to do a track car, right, not a drag car, taking a little bit of a loss on that horsepower, but having quicker spool is gonna help us tremendously when we're taking this car around the track. We're gonna go through, we're gonna hit some roll racing. We'll have more footage after I get done yapping, but make sure you guys continue to like, follow, and subscribe. This new turbo, we are not done testing it. We're going to go through a few different revisions to make sure we are bringing you the best turbo possible. Keep in mind, we also made about 5 PSI less boost and about a 10.3 AFR. So once we lean that out a little bit, we'll actually probably make more power on this turbocharger, especially if we can pick up some boost. So really impressed with this turbocharger. Excited to bring it to the market. So excited to bring this to the market because it is going to be an emissions-friendly turbocharger. We will likely talk with BNR about bringing an externally gated option as well because we love hearing our external gates go off. But overall, So happy with the setup. Our next video is going to be getting you guys instructed on how to upload, put files onto your reflex units. And then from there, we'll be putting a reflex and JMF on Jonah's car with port injection, ethanol, and the BNR 3071. So stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for some roll racing. Let's go get it.
2 hours later.
Set the 90. I've dropped this torque wrench so many times, no way is it accurate. That's why I do 95. 95.
Hey, we're here at Roll Racing. We're getting lined up with Austin Evo X right behind us. Got the guys taking some air out of the tires. That way we can have as much traction as possible, and hopefully it helps with a little bit of the torque steer. And when we get back to the shop, we'll have to do some power flex bushings and all the fun stuff. It's crazy. It's crazy. We actually tuned this car behind us, and then a little while later, yeah, this inconsiderate ended up blowing his motor about 6 months later. Just got it done being built. It's on Motec, so it's gonna be a fun run. So we're out here at Roll Racing. We took on Austin's Evo X, which made just over 500. We took on another big turbo GTI with a hood dump, probably making 500-600, I don't know. Beat both of those by about a car on the GTI, 3 cars on, this guy's slow. About 3 cars on the Evo X. But I got the guys pulling off the wastegate line, because we're only hitting about 30 pounds. And we're usually hitting about 32, 33. So we want all the boost. We're gonna let this turbo just eat and do its thing and go from there. And then our next opponent is gonna be Whipple F-150. So he makes like 750, but he weighs quite a bit more. So I think that that'll be a good run. He'll probably get us. We gotta figure out the torque steer though, because it's atrocious. But we'll get that handled. For now, we're racing, having a good time, drooling over boosted Civics. It's the best. All right, you guys, successful day of us out at the track with the shop car. We just hit the dyno this morning, came out to Roll Racing. Lots of really good competition here. We just got finished up, ended our night with a dub against a 640 horsepower SRT4. We went ahead, we raced a twin turbo F-150 making 730 some odd horsepower. Yeah, sorry, Whipple supercharged F-150, making about 740 horsepower. And when we had traction, we were able to beat that, but without traction, we lost. So we ran it back, aired down the tires, and this turbo, its spool, everything about it, the characteristics are amazing. So we are really excited to continue to do some R&D with BNR and get this to the market in its perfect form. But we do have a little of a ways to go. So make sure you guys continue to leave us comments. Make sure you're liking, subscribing, and following on all of our socials, so that way you can keep up on what we're doing with this car, projects we have to come. Next week we're going to be working on Jonas Focus ST, getting the port injection and JMF installed. That way we can work on the reflex. Again, our next video is going to be Tyler showing you guys how to upload reflex into or programming into the reflex. So thank you guys so much. Thank you to all of our sponsors. Thank you for BNR for trusting us to go through and test out these turbos. We're going to continue to bring the best products to the market that we can.